Welcome back to the final part of Paranormal Happenings Look at Aliens. Now that we have had all the opinions and stories from our experts, we journey one final time back up north to Blackpool and ask David Boyle one last time about aliens and ask if he has ever had a close encounter with an ET.
The ETs will only appear on the planet when we are ready for them, when we are going to welcome them with love and compassion and not to attack them savagely. Right? The planet Nibiru will return. Nibiru, of course, is the 12th planet in this solar system, spoken of and mentioned by the aspects of the earlier civilizations, particularly the Sumerians. And of course, when Nibiru returns, you're going to have the return of the consciousness of all that is, and then we're going to find out the truth. So the lies that we've been encompassed in, and we take on our own personal sovereignty, and our, of course, the pollution on the planet, which has been deliberately, in many cases, investigated and influenced to a greater level by those in power to stop the average person activating parts of their consciousness. When we realise the control that we're all being under and how we've been lied to and twisted and of course covered up, the UFO presence, the alien presence, our true history, where we come from, what we are and where we're going will soon show. And as it's beginning to wake up now, as more people are beginning to realise the illusion we live in and the lies. Many people ask me, have I seen a UFO or had any communication with extraterrestrials? Well, I've stopped counting the number of UFOs I've seen. On many, many occasions, along with many, many witnesses, I've seen so many that can't possibly fit into the technology that we're given away as reality. Several of which I know move at such speeds and trajectories and so quick and so fast that our now modern technology or the technology hidden by our governments couldn't possibly create what's been happening. Have I met ETs? Yes. I've actually met one face to face, in this dimension, as solid as you and I, in the levels. That occurred to me in my house when I lived in Wales. Since then, on many occasions, I've learnt about my true bodies, my number of vibrations, and I understand how the governments of both America and Russia and Britain and Israel have spent a great deal of money in learning how to do what they call remote viewing, which is detaching your consciousness from your physical body and travelling in space to other dimensions and then bringing the information back. Depends how much consciousness you take out of your body and project it in astral projection or remote viewing, whichever way you want to go. That's the reality. And in the higher vibrational frequencies, which is the real vibrational frequencies of existence, you can actually travel the universe. Of course, only when you're capable and when you are a person who is in charge of yourself, who has controlled your desires and is in charge of yourself without any crutches and not capable of the destructive elements that mankind's unfortunately got. We are today encouraged. Everyone speaks to ETs. You call them guardian angels. You have guides with you, assisting you in higher frequencies. When people turn around and say, do you get any help? Well, every single person that gets inspiration gets help. Where do you think the inspiration comes from? The musician who's suddenly thinking of something and then it comes and says, I'm inspired to do this. Where do you think the inspiring comes from? It comes from higher dimensions of themselves, being guided from higher frequencies by ETs, guardian angels, or other consciousness levels above and beyond the range of our normal receptive capabilities. The channelers pick up information. The mediums also communicate with beings who are no longer in their physical body. You call them ghosts. They're not actually ghosts, they're just beings in other bodies. Because when you know you've got more than one body, and the only one that physically dies is the outer one, the solid one, which of course we then leave, and then we reincarnate again, to live again, to learn the experiences. Which is why our brain is only activated to a small amount. And then you begin to realise that we're limited in consciousness. And why are we limited in consciousness? So we can experience being separate from all there is. And of course all there is every single thing, which includes you. And the creation force that makes everything is actually explained in great detail in the ancient monuments and the ancient books. Because our whole history, as we are being shown and being taught, doesn't match the archaeology of the stones. So who's telling us lies? The people who give us the stories, who perpetuate myths and legends. Myths and legends that we've only got one body. Myths and legends that pyramids are tombs for pharaohs. that we evolved on this planet from 4 to 6,000 BC, all lies. The archaeology of the stones gives us a totally different picture. And when you start to see through the cracks of the controlling elements, your mind starts to awaken. And when, of course, you realise everything's done for you, that everything around you, all the déjà vu, all the coincidences are done for your benefit, you realise that the beings that are looking after us are part of us. And of course, we are part of all them. And you're going to find out that the beings that we've been classified and given to us as aliens, destruction, where our government have portrayed them in the films and things, are ETs. No, that's not the reality. The reality in the higher vibrational frequencies is pure unconditional love. And you'll find out that the benevolent attitude of most of the extraterrestrial capabilities and visitations is soon going to be shown, to find out that the real negative elements are those that have the power, who do not wish to share, who do not wish to give up their positions of power and wealth which they've had for thousands of years.
So you've heard our experts' reports and opinions on UFOs and aliens. Are there such things as ETs? Are the strange things we sometimes see in the night sky UFOs? If you do experience anything strange, there are people you can go to, but it is up to you now to make up your own mind. Do aliens and UFOs really exist?